Yo, what's up guys, Dezo here, and today we're going to be talking about the original promise of ice and fire. So in A Clash of Kings, Jojen and Meera want to swear their fealty to Robb and the Starks. Bran tells them that Robb is fighting in the south, but they can say the words to him. This is what they say. To Winterfell we pledge the faith of Greywater, hearth and heart, and our harvest we yield up to you, my lord. Our swords and spears and arrows are yours to command. Grant mercy to our weak, help to our helpless, and justice to all, and we shall never fail you. Jojen and Meera both said this part. Then Jojen says, I swear it by earth and water. Meera says, I swear it by bronze and iron. And Jojen and Meera say, we swear it by ice and fire. Bran didn't know how to respond to this because he was never taught that oath. So at this point, it should be noted that the Reeds remember ancient truths that pretty much every other house forgot. Jojen says, truths the first men knew, forgotten now in Winterfell, but not in the wet wild. We live closer to the green in our bogs and crannog, and we remember. So this oath is probably something really old and ancient that the Reeds remember and everybody else forgot. On a side note, another interesting thing about House Reed is that we never actually hear their words in the show or the book. The words of their house literally could be ice and fire. We know that Meera probably has a really important role that we haven't saw yet, and it could have something to do with that. I'm gonna have a whole separate video on Meera in the future. Anyways, back to the oath. If this is an ancient oath, what could it be referring to? It could be referring to the pact between the children and the first men. We know House Reed descended from the first men, and we now also know they remembered these secret truths. So when the first men arrived into Westeros at the Dawn Age, they were basically at war with the children because they were cutting down the children's trees. After thousands of years, they made a pact of peace on an island within the God's Eye. This would become known as the Isle of Faces because faces of the gods were engraved in the trees so the gods could bear witness to the pact. I swear it by earth and water. This could be what the children said in the pact because they do get their power from nature. I swear it by bronze and iron. This could have been what the first men said because they get their power from their tools and their weapons. Another note about this is that Robb's crown was made out of bronze and iron. It was also made to match the original crowns that the original kings in the North wore. Quote, bronze and iron are stronger than gold and silver, Robb answered. The old kings of winter wore such a sword crown. Robb reached down with both hands, lifted the heavy bronze and iron crown, and set it back atop his head, and suddenly he was king again. So the Starks have the blood of the first men, and it seems like that bronze and iron was certainly important to them. We swear it by ice and fire. This could have been what both of them said together, the children and the first men. So what relevance would this really have for the story? So this pact would have been made at the Isle of Faces, like I said. Some people believe that Rhaegar and Lyanna were married at the Isle of Faces. It is very close to where they fell in love, and it would also give them a chance to wed in secret, and it would also be with the old gods, which Lyanna would have probably wanted. So Lyanna, being ice, Rhaegar being fire, gets married at the Isle of Faces, where 10,000 years ago, a pact of ice and fire was made. And Rhaegar was also obsessed with having a third child that would be the Song of Ice and Fire. On top of that, Howland Reed seems to be the only other person besides Ned who knows Jon's true parentage, and if this oath is something that the Reeds usually say, Howland would have sworn by ice and fire to protect Jon, who is literally the Song of Ice and Fire. Now in the show, Bran also knows as well, but Howland could also be the one who explains that Rhaegar did not rape Lyanna and they actually had a consensual marriage and that Jon is the heir. And I'm just going to cover this now because there's always somebody who doesn't know that Targaryens married multiple people. So it wouldn't be uncommon for Rhaegar to have two wives, because he was married to Elia Martell at the time, but if he loved Lyanna, he could have married her without a problem. Please tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Leave a like on this video and subscribe for more Game of Thrones related videos. I try to cover less talked about things and I try uploading it at least twice a week. There is also a playlist to all my theories in the description below. Feel free to check them all out and tell me what you think about those as well.